Hi, this is Fred with Quality One Engravers. I'm going to do a simple or a relatively simple plaque for you in auto mode. Let me just click on this. I'm going to start with, I know it's going to be in manual layout, so I'm going to hit Control P to change it to manual layout. My plate height on this job is going to be 8 inches high, which is, I guess it already was. And then number 2, my width is 6 inches. And number 5, my left margin is 0.6. And number 6, I'm going to just hit the equal key so it remembers what it did. Alright, then I'm going to hit the letter T for text. And I know my baselines of what I want. So I'm going to put my baseline here of my first line is 1.024. Enter. I know I want it centered. And number 4, the text height is 0.15, so I'm going to hold the Alt key and hit the up arrow and go to 156, which is one of our standard heights, and they want it in Gaudy regular, so I'm going to change number 5, arrow down, and Alt G, get down to Gaudy regular, and I'm going to hit the space bar to select that font, and I'm going to just type in Puna, Puna. Then I'm going to hit enter. The second line, the baseline is 1.27. Enter. And this height is also 156. Now, it does change in size, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second, but I'll hit the space bar to get into the field, and it's GEOTHERMAL space VENTURE. Venture. Enter. Now, before I enter the third line happens to be a logo, which I do not have the logo here, so I'm going to just put a letter in there just to have it in there as a placeholder. So the baseline of the logo is 2.884, and the height of the logo was 1.5. And I'll just leave it as Gaudy regular, and I'll just put a capital letter O in there just as a placeholder. And then line number 4 goes back to normal block, so I hit the number 5 key, normal block. The baseline on that is 3.12. Enter. And number 4, I'm going to hit the Alt and the down arrow because this was 0.156 height. Actually, on your example, it's 0.15, but 156 will be a good number to stick with, and you can change it if you want. And this says spacebar AN format company. Enter. Okay, now I'm going to hit escape and E for edit, and I know on these 2 lines the customer wants to have it be small caps, so I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to arrow over. And if you noticed at the beginning there was a caret, I need to put another caret in it. If you look at the 6 key on the keyboard, you hold the shift key, shift 6, and I can put a caret in. This is a parameter change, and you want the first letter to be 0.156 and the rest of the letters to be 1/8. So I'm going to hit the Alt down arrow 2 times, and it takes it down to 1/8 of an inch. And I can arrow to the end or just hit enter. We'll accept that. So I've done that to this line, so I'm going to hit enter for this one. And in this case, I'm going to shift 6 to put the caret in. I'm going to come over here and put shift 6. Now remember, I also need to put a shift 6 right here so that it changes back, and I don't know why I couldn't put it right here. I guess let me just delete this parameter change. I'm going to just hit delete, and I'm going to delete this one. Go to the letter V, shift 6, go one beyond, shift 6. Because, okay, at the beginning of the letter it's 156. Now at this parameter change, I'm going to use the alt down arrow to change it to 125. And at this, I want it to stay at 156, and then at this one I want 0.125. So just to kind of go over, it starts off as a 156 letter, changes to 125, goes back to 156, and goes back, then I changed it to 125. So when you're doing multiple lines, always put your carets in first and then come back and change it. You'll have less changes to make. So I'll hit enter. So there's my 4 lines input so far, and of course this line here, the third line, is supposed to be a logo, and that would usually be the number 1, 2, 3, or 4, or whatever I made it on the logo. So I want to enter some more text. So T for text, enter for add, and the 5th line, the base line, is 3.78. Enter. The text height is 0.2. I use the alt up and down arrow, and I really don't have a 0.2, but 188 is pretty close, or I can at least type in 0.2 for this example, so I don't change your setup very much. And I believe that you have a little mistake as far as the font. You say that it's block normal, but I believe it's Gaudy for that line. So I'm going to hit the number 5 key, make it Gaudy, 0.2 high, and I believe I skipped a line, but anyways, this line is 0.2 high, and the name Abel, A-B-E-L, Costa. So let me just hit E for edit, and I can see I typed in Puma, geothermal, the logo. I forgot the word Hawaii, so I'm going to just hit the insert key, and it duplicated this line right here. So I'm going to edit that line, and let's see, the baseline for Hawaii was number 1, 2.884, and it was very, very confusing what it is, but I believe it to be Gaudy regular, and I also believe it to be 1/8 inch character. So alt down arrow, and it says the word Hawaii, H-A-W-A-I-I, and then I want control of the line, so I'm going to just get rid of the rest of it. And of course I didn't type it in caps, so I hit the home key and then the F6 key and enter. So there's the line that I just entered. So I've got the Puna, geothermal, the logo, Hawaii, an Ornet company, and the person's name. And I'm going to just hit T for text. Well, actually at this point I'm going to save it. So I'm going to hit